Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am doing a video, if you looked at the title, on life after law school. It is a lazy Sunday today, and I just decided, since it's been 6 months since I did a video, thank you to those of you who have continued to subscribe, I should do a video. So recently I've had probably about 2 or 3 law students who are about to graduate in May, congratulations to them, who have asked to meet with me to sort of talk about how do I prepare for life after law school? What do I do? What organizations are you in? How do I get in those organizations? What's that process? And particularly, I've even had a student who is, we're in Missouri, but she got a job offer in another state. So she's like, what is the process that I do to get back to Missouri eventually, because I want to come back home? So I say all that to say, I'm going to kind of explain a little bit of the things that I talked to them about, but also that you as a law student, if you're graduating soon, you should connect with someone who, I don't know, you can connect with. A lot of people like to connect with lawyers who have been out for a while because they're well in their practice or whatever. I found it beneficial to connect with lawyers that were only 2 or 3 years out because they identified more with me. They were around my age. They were still young lawyers. They could tell me what the young lawyers are doing. Specifically, I recently had a young lawyers networking event that I invited a couple law students to, and it's really helpful for them because they're around other young lawyers. So keep that in mind. I'm not saying mentors that have been out for a while are not necessary. Just make sure you have a good balance of people that you talk to get information from. So one of the things that I mentioned is to get involved in, and ask multiple people, get involved in your bar organizations. So for me, that's the Missouri Bar lawyers. So in the Missouri Bar Association, there are different things that you can do. There are different ways to get involved. So initially what I did was just went to the website, and there's literally a tab that says, how to get involved. And I just looked at all the things that they have going on. The last video, I talked about being on the Young Lawyers Section Council. Since that video, I've been to a couple of conferences due to the Missouri Bar. I've been to Denver. I've been to Vancouver. I went to Atlanta, but that wasn't lawyer related. And then I went to, I'm going to Louisville. So it's different conferences that it takes you to, different people that you get to meet, different, you sort of come together with people, with lawyers from all over the state, young lawyers, and you collaborate about ways we can, help law students, ways we can help the community. It is a very involved organization, and always trying to see how lawyers can give back or provide education outside of themselves. So that was one thing that's really important to me. So that's another thing. You have to find out what's important to you. There's the Women Lawyers Association. There's the Bar Association of not the state, but like your specific area. So if you live in Jackson County or something, Bar Association of Jackson County, you want to get involved with those people so that you get to know their faces and their names. And as a law student, I have encouraged this before in one of my videos. I encourage you to do it because it kind of gets your name out there. It gets you to meeting people. And remember, in my past video, I've said the first year out of law school, most, if not all, of the bar organizations are free to you. So take advantage of that so that you can use that time to decide, well, I liked this bar organization for this year, and also kind of budget, because after that year, you have to pay for those organizations. Now, if you end up going to a firm, a lot of the firms pay for those dues. But if you don't and you go to government work like I did, you're responsible for your own dues. So keep that in mind. The other thing is getting involved in organizations that sort of have a track. So again, the Bar Association has it's called Leadership Academy. It's for young lawyers, and then after that, you kind of progress after a year to the Young Lawyers Section Council member. And then after that, you kind of progress. Now, all of these you have to apply to, and the Young Lawyers section, you have to be elected by young lawyers, which is another reason for you to get out, network, get your name known, because if they have to vote for you, they don't know who you are. So the other thing is you can progress towards the Board of Governors, get on other boards, which brings me to, we like to just do lawyer stuff, especially when you first get out. And that's good, but be diverse. Try to be diverse. As much as you're on in lawyer organizations and participating, if you liked Big Brothers Big Sisters, try to get on their Young Professionals board members. Or try to be a little. If you like the Boys and Girls Club, or you interned there in undergrad or something, and you really liked working with them, try to get on that board. Try to find a nonprofit and diversify yourself, because those networks are important too. You meet so many different people, entrepreneurs, fundraisers, that's always important, to kind of help you develop over time. And who knows, those things might lead to jobs too, or not saying you don't have a job now, but a better job or a better paying job. You just never know. So try to diversify. Now, when you first get out, it's going to be something that's on the front of your mind to just make sure you get in with the lawyers, and that's completely understandable. But try to get that balance in the first year, and then find other organizations. So your life after law school it depends. It's relatively different because you're not at school all the time. You're just at work, and then you go home. And as you know from watching my videos, I worked full-time, 40 hours a week, and I went to law school part-time, 11 hours. So I'm used to being extremely busy, back-to-back-to-back work, not having a lot of time for myself. My first year out, I was going home right after work at 5 o'clock, and trying to keep myself up at 8 o'clock because I was like, it's too early to go to sleep. And then being grateful that it's 10 o'clock that I can go to sleep, because I had nothing else to do. Try not to do that. So if you're at a firm, you might be a little bit more busy. But these organizations aren't going to completely take up your life, but try to get back, because another thing with that is you can gain weight, or, just pick up habits that you don't necessarily want to pick up. And you kind of get stagnant, or just kind of complacent in your outside life. So I found a fitness class that I liked, and I now go to it at least 4 times a week, sometimes more. I hang out with friends and have, happy hours and different things like that. But being in the legal field, I made the joke that I am now, I feel like a extroverted introvert, or introverted extrovert. I'm naturally an extrovert, but because I'm in this field, I'm kind of an introvert now, because there are happy hours and social events and meetings, and you're talking all day, and you're talking to people all day, and you're on all day. And so when you leave 5, 6 o'clock, there's this event, but you're like, the only thing I want to do is go take a glass of wine and sit at home on a couch. So it kind of makes you want to just retreat and find some me time. Don't lose that, because there will be a bunch of things that you'll feel like you can get into. Do not be the person that overcommits themselves and then this falls through and this falls through and you look bad. But don't be the person that does too little and then nobody knows you. And then you've been out of school for 3 years and everybody's like, so did you just come here? Like, nobody knows that you've been in the legal field because they haven't seen you. Don't do that either. So try to figure out a balance to stay involved. And I think that for the most part, during the second year, you'll kind of get that down and figure that out, and it'll become easier. But it ebbs and flows with organizations, with the activities that they have going on. Depending on if you sign up for committees, there's a difference. You get out what you put into it. So basically you'll have law school, and then after law school you'll have the bar, and I typically see, like, after law school, I don't count that time that you're taking the bar and finding out your results. I still mentally felt like I was in law school. Like, I'm still at a standstill. Like, if I don't pass, then, what do I do? I can't move forward. So in that time, just focus on the bar, focus on taking that. And then once you find out you pass, I just felt like I could move forward with my life. So that's when your time starts. And that is when if you haven't found a job, you're looking for a job, you're networking, you're doing things like the last video I mentioned where you do discovery work just for organizations, or just for, it's kind of contracting yourself out. You can do that, and you'll meet other lawyers through that too. So you've got organizations, you've got your job, you've got reconnecting with friends, things that you like to do. Law school took reading out of me. It took about 6 months, but now before I got really busy, I was at a point where I would go to Barnes & Noble and just kind of read. So get back to the things that are you, and I think that you'll kind of find a balance along the way. But to help you specifically in your area, reach out to the person. If you see a lawyer that's at a lot of your school events, that lawyer likes to come to the school and give back and give information and help other law students. So connect with them because they tend to be the ones that are open. And I know this from experience. Connect with them and ask them what they did, especially if they're a few years out of law school. As usual, if you have any questions, some of you have contacted me about emailing me or asking me questions. I am very much so open to that. I am slowly trying to find a way to respond to everybody, but if you have any questions, or you have a certain video that you want me to do, or something that you want me to answer, please feel free to leave that in the comments, and I will see it and I will respond to it. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and have a good day.